Hi, everybody. Mitch Tannenbaum here. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to talk about cyber risk insurance. This is probably near and dear to the heart of many of you, especially the business folks that are trying to make sure that you have the ability to transfer at least some of the risk. Now, we all know that all insurance is a form of last resort, right? You don't want to go off and just say, well, since I have insurance, I don't care. And that's especially true for cyber risk insurance. I'll explain why in a second. But what we're seeing now is that cyber risk insurance is getting more and more challenging for folks to obtain and keep. So I'm going to show you an article out of a recent Wall Street Journal that kind of talks about the problem. So what they're saying is that rates are rising. We knew that, and they're rising a lot. And in particular, they're doing some interesting stuff. So first thing here is that here is the premiums that they wrote. You can see that it went from a little bit over $1.5 billion in 2020 to $3 billion in 2021. The thing about that, though, is these are caused primarily by higher rates and not by writing a lot more insurance. So that's an interesting thing. The challenge they have, and this paragraph talks about that here, is that their direct loss ratio, which is the amount they pay out compared to the amount that they collect, is not where they want it to be. Even with these exorbitant price increases in 2021, the payout was 65% of premiums. That is luckily down from 72% in 2020, but it's far above 2019. So here's the graph that shows those numbers, right? That's caused obviously by all of the ransomware attacks and stuff like that. But here's the kind of the kicker in all this. It says that premiums are being right-sized. There's a euphemism for increased. But part of the reset includes stricter criteria for those applying for coverage. And the White House says that's a good idea. Carriers are now requiring folks to demonstrate at least basic cyber hygiene, including measures such as multi-factor authentication. And we're seeing this with our clients. Some clients who get a questionnaire, if they can't answer the questionnaire right, they just can't get coverage at all. So what they're saying here, what the journal is saying here, is that if you can't demonstrate certain baseline controls, the marketplace is just going to say no. We had a call today from a client who said they're trying to renew their cyber risk insurance, and they have not done a penetration test, and they're a relatively low risk client, and the insurance company said, we're not writing a policy, not going to happen. So that's a challenge. Certainly things like Colonial Pipeline didn't help for sure, but nonetheless, carriers are also starting to cut what's covered, and that may mean that you need multiple policies to get the same kind of coverage. And the amount of time it's taking to actually get your policy renewed is dragging out a long time. So don't plan to go off and renew your policy, a couple of weeks before the policy expires, because you may be running without insurance for quite a while. And that's just the reality of it. Some carriers have also started to revise their active war exclusions. The Lloyd's Marketplace Trade Group has come out with 2 or 3 different proposed sort of standard clauses that insurance underwriters can use for their active war exclusion. But the problem is we don't know how those words are going to get interpreted in court, and someone's going to win in those cases. Either the insurance companies are going to win or the companies are going to win. But the challenge is, well, what happens about hacking by non-state actors, like, for example, the Conti ransomware group, as an example. They said, we love Mother Russia and we're going to hack on behalf of Mother Russia, but they're not a state group. There's no way, well, who knows what can happen in court. I would say there's no way that you can go off and claim that is a state actor, but as these guys say, it's not always clear what's war. And I think that's a challenge. So what that means is that you, as a company who is trying to get insurance, need to kind of up your game when it comes to your cybersecurity practices. And if you don't, you may discover that you're self-insured. And if that's your objective, then that's not a problem. But if that is a problem for you, then you need to deal with it. If you need help, please reach out to us. Thanks.
Turnkey Cybersecurity and Privacy Solutions offers the complete cybersecurity program for small to medium-sized